You're listening to The Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Here on BBC Radio 4 Extra.
Now for a programme in which you might find you've written some of the sketches. Well, you know, not if you don't actually remember sending anything in to us, that'd just be weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newsjack, the show anyone can write for. I'm your host, Nish Kumar, and joining me tonight are Lolly Adefope, Jenny Bede and Thomas Nelstrop. We're back, and we start with the news that's shaken us to the very core here at Newsjack. People actually listen to Radio 4 Extra. Yes, a Radar report in May found that 4 Extra is the UK's biggest digital radio station. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If we had known that people were actually listening, we would have tried a lot harder. Like, a lot harder. A lot. Like, I didn't even wear trousers for most of the recordings last series. Which I guess leads us on to the second big surprise of the summer. I've held on to my job. But it's not just me who's back making a mockery of the UK's media landscape by being inexplicably re-employed. Former head of News International and 100% non-criminal Rebecca Brooks back at the Sun. And boy, she has lost none of her touch. David Cameron ordering a drone strike on 2 British-born IS members was covered with the headline, "Wham bam, thank you, Cam." And then they printed pictures of the dead men with the caption, "Gotcha," above their heads. Covering a serious and depressing story with terrible puns and an inexplicable reference to Noel's house party, Brooks, it's good to have you back. However, on the political front, David Cameron has had an absolutely great time of it. The Labour leadership contest has turned into the political equivalent of the second and third Pirates of the Caribbean films, in that it's been long, occasionally embarrassing, and people have given up caring how it ends. As for the Liberal Democrats, their leadership election was like the fourth Pirates of the Caribbean film in that no one even seems to realise it happened. All of which is great news for my boy D-Cam. He's been on holiday twice, going full rope-a-dope, letting his opponents punch themselves out while he chills on a beach. In fact, the last time a Conservative politician enjoyed an Indian summer this much, it ended with my ancestors being colonised. And as for the final major news story of the summer, we won't be doing any sketches about the refugee crisis tonight. Now, some of you might assume that this is because we don't want to make light of such a serious subject, but it's actually because we're trying to accurately replicate the British government's attitude about refugees. If there is a big outcry from the public, we will accept a limited number of sketches about refugees over the lifetime of this series. However, if you are interested, there is a German sketch show called Das Newsjacken, which is currently doing a whole series of jokes about them. The refugee crisis has been a relentless cavalcade of bad news, and the response from our government and media has been mixed. From David Cameron describing them as a swarm to the tabloid press fostering a mistrust of migrants before suddenly taking an about turn when they realised the national mood had. But at this point, enter a German town called Landshut. With Munich struggling with the overflow of refugees, there was nowhere for them to sleep. The local authorities contacted the town's mayor, Thomas Link, desperate for help. He responded in the most German way possible. This is a direct quote from the mayor. He said, "Yes, there is a place. The beer tent." They re-erected a beer tent to house refugees. The whole town has pitched in, and the only complaints so far have come from local people who weren't allowed to volunteer because they already had enough volunteers. How is this possible? This isn't real life. This sounds like the plot of a John Candy film. And not only that, but the town that's welcomed in the refugees is called Landshut. Landshut, which is basically the word some members of the right-wing press want to daub on the White Cliffs of Dover. Look, it's easy to get depressed when faced with events like these. When things seem bleakest, you can always rely on a German man to sound a clarion call to the kindness that lives within the human spirit by saying 8 simple words. Yes, there is a place. the beer tent. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on with the show!
Sam Smith drops hint that he may be singing the new James Bond theme. As he says in an interview, I'm singing the new James Bond theme.
In tennis, the US Open was disrupted for a short time by an annoying drone. But then Andy Murray finished his post-match interview and play continued.
Following the scandal in which an Italian man used Morse code to cheat at a chess tournament, the World Chess Federation have announced they're drawing a line under it. Then a dot, then a line, 2 more dots and a line.
Scientists who invented slow-melting ice cream say they would have done it sooner, but they hate working on Sundays.
Tony Hall, the BBC Director General, has announced plans to broadcast a daily magazine programme to North Korea. We can now announce that this will be called The Unshow.
Politics news now. Political biographer Sir Anthony Seldon described David Cameron as a Zen Prime Minister, revealing that he does most of his work between 5:30 and 7:30 a.m. and lives in a bubble of tranquility. By the way, Bubble of Tranquility was my wrestling name. How long is it before Cameron cashes in on his newfound spiritual reputation?
Hello and welcome to the Zen Downing Street Relaxation Tape, the spiritual guide for Cameron's elite. Let's start by unburdening ourselves. Any remaining public sector ownership, just let it go. Let it go.
Now, don't forget at all times to keep yourself centred, or at least pretend you're centred, and actually lean pretty far to the right. And don't forget to just let any criticism wash over you. In one ear and out the other. Let's start with some light yoga. We'll be adopting some of our more basic positions.
Okay, let's start off in our tough on immigration warrior stance. That's right, tense up those face muscles. And now let's move into our accepting thousands downward dog. So start slowly making a U-turn before carefully bowing down before public pressure. Always make sure your backbench is kept fully under control, and if any strange noises come out of your dispatch box, just ignore them.
Now, try and harness your inner child, that carefree part of you. Now, tell your inner child to get a job and start saving for a pension straight away.
And now it's time to start relaxing. Calm down, dear. Just calm down and rest.
And if you ever feel stressed or anxious during the day, don't forget to repeat your mantra to yourself. I'm a wealthy white man and everything is going to be okay.
This week, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II has become Britain's longest ever reigning monarch. It also puts her 47th on the all-time global list of monarchs, meaning that she's now ahead of Queen Victoria, Emperor Hirohito and the Burger King. With such success in the record-breaking department, the palace has announced her new venture into the record-making department.
I would like to extend my warmest gratitude to those in the Commonwealth and beyond for their kind messages of support, and would appreciate it if you would join me in the ceremonial dropping of this sick beat. Yeah, Lizzie Dubs number 2. I've been making it rain since 1952. Here one is from the House of Windsor, spitting lyrics at you while the record spins. Yeah, keeping it real since the Great Depression, surviving low riding through all the recessions. Prime ministers, I've had my share. Churchill, Thatcher, Tony Blair. The most unpleasant to grace my castle, Cameron, of course. What a ruddy... Okay, blames with me, unless you're playing chess where I'm the queen. I always win in the Game of Thrones, cause bitches please, I've got my own. Work with James Bond cause I'm proper stealth, protecting all my gangsters in the Commonwealth. I'm down with my homies across the nation. You can call me street like Coronation. God bless you all at home and overseas. Lizzie out.
With Jeremy Corbyn surging ahead of incompetent opponents, the Labour leadership race is beginning to look like what would happen if Usain Bolt was pursued by a group of drunk tortoises. However, questions remain regarding the friendly relationships Corbyn has had over the years with some fairly unsavoury characters. Here, Corbyn has the chance to set the record straight by introducing some of his pals at a cocktail party.
I am so happy I've finally got the opportunity to introduce you to some of my friends.
Oh, here's one now.
Lord Vader, nice to meet you.
Oh, hello.
Now, I see that look on your face. Darth is an old friend of mine. I know he has critics, and I don't agree with everything he has to say about imperialism and blowing up Alderaan, but I believe it is important to keep the lines of dialogue open, especially if we want peace in the galaxy, even if it is far, far away. Don't you agree, Darth?
Kill them all.
Just one of his little jokes.
I think I've read about you. Aren't you the guy with the Death Star?
Well, at least it's better than Trident. One of my trademark, overly earnest Jeremy Corbyn jokes there. Oh, here's another guest now.
Hello.
Aren't you the lady who put the cat in the bin?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I blew up a planet, but that's pretty extreme.
Well, now, Cat Bin Lady does have her critics, and her views on animal welfare are unorthodox, bordering on insane. But I believe her voice is worth hearing, and in the context of British history, putting a cat in a bin is nothing compared to our role in the Irish potato famine. Also, I know Cat Bin Lady very well, and she is a reformed character.
What was that?
Nothing?
Oh, okay. Well, I've got some very exciting news that you're going to want to hear. I was asking around earlier today, and you'll never guess who's coming round later. Tony Blair.
Blair? I won't be seen with him.
And now it's time for more breaking news. US President Barack Obama has joined adventurer Bear Grylls on a survival trek in Alaska. He reportedly encountered life-threatening hazards, including whitewater rapids, the ferocious tundra wolf, and a shirtless Vladimir Putin.
The Met Office is giving the public the opportunity to name storms. The highest rated suggestion so far is Hurricane Boris, to be applied to loud and blustering southerly storms, mainly comprised of hot air.
Jamie Oliver has faced criticism over the quality of his new low-sugar salads. Oliver said the salads were something that needed addressing.
The BBC has announced its new Korean radio station, Northern Seoul.
Scientists have developed a way of telling how well or badly your body is aging. It's called a mirror.
International news now. Kanye West has announced that he plans to run for president in the 2020 elections, and many Americans are worried that this will make a mockery of the political process that has made governors of Jesse the Body Ventura and Arnold the Terminator Schwarzenegger, and elected Ronald Reagan president after he was in a film where his co-star was a chimpanzee. Luckily for Newsjack, we've been given a sneak peek of candidate Kanye's new video.
America, land of the free and the home of the brave. The only place in the world where literally anyone can become president if your name is Bush or Clinton. But now, welcome a new kind of leader.
Oh yeah, America, you're looking beautiful. Big up my Grand Canyon, big up the Statue of Liberty, big up that park Yogi Bear lives in.
A new leader for a new America, a fresh America, a better America.
America is the greatest country in the world. America is the greatest country in the universe. No disrespect, Martians, but you know it's true. Mic drop.
2020 will see a new style of leadership, a new brand of leader.
I want an America where everyone can follow their dreams. I follow my dream and look at me. I never smile. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Mic drop.
A leader with his own philosophy, unburdened by the need to actually make sense.
I'm not saying I am Jesus. I'm saying if I was, that would be for Jesus to decide who is me. So, yes, I am Jesus.
Because in 2020, international superstar and future messiah Kanye West is taking back America with his running mate Taylor Swift.
He showed up at my house with his plans for the Middle East. It was just a picture of Aladdin wearing headphones.
Yo, Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish.
I have finished.
Okay.
So if you want real change in America from a man with a firm grip on the issues but not on the microphone, vote Kanye in 2020. He can't be worse than Donald Trump.
Science and technology news now. This week saw the return to Earth of 4 vials of scotch from the International Space Station, where they'd been stored for the past 4 years. Whiskey scientists, which, by the way, is a great euphemism for alcoholic, wanted to explore what being stored in space would do to the flavour. Whilst I think we can all agree that space whiskey would certainly have livened up the second half of Interstellar, I don't know what's weirder, that they sent the whiskey into space or that it came back.
Calling Explorer, this is Houston, come in, Explorer.
Hello, Houston! This is Explorer! What's that?
Glad to have reached you at last. We have been trying to contact you guys for some time. You had us a little worried.
Sorry, man, yeah, we was having a nap, reading a map. Whatevs, we're cool. Hey! Me head's in a fishbowl! How are you guys?
Oh, well, we're a little concerned by some of the communications coming from you recently. Like this one from a couple of days ago, which said, when we get back from space, we should all go on a road trip. And let's actually do it this time.
Yeah, I see how that sounds, and I can basically explain...
No, there's more. You also contacted us to reaffirm our status as your best mate before calling the Mir space station to say that you were lonely and just wanted to talk.
Okay, well, now that was a mistake, but seriously, the Mir space station is a total legend. Actually, there was something we wanted to... I'm asking him. Yeah. Look, if someone was to accidentally eat one of these mice we have up here...
Did someone eat a mouse, Dave?
No, absolutely not. Yes. Yeah. But it was an experiment, because we're doing science with the mice. We also need a monkey, so... Send us a monkey! Monkey!
Dave, have you guys been drinking the whiskey we sent up as part of a very important scientific study which the whiskey brand generously paid us thousands of dollars to do?
Seriously, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait a sec. Kerry wants to say something. Hang on.
I was just say I really love you guys. You're the best. I love you.
Look, I think maybe you might want to tell us something about your drinking.
Yes, Houston, I have a problem.
Now it's time for more breaking news.
The BBC has announced a new programme focusing on the career of Piers Morgan. Why do you think you are? A man from the UK has entered the world's strongest man, who he described as a surprisingly tender lover.
Fearing rumours that his days are numbered, public appearances by Kim Jong-un are apparently now being made by his double, Kim Jong-de.
As last week was National Beard Day, we'd like to take a moment to celebrate the great beards. Karl Marx, Charles Darwin and Taylor Swift.
Manchester United midfielder Juan Mata and his dad's sister have never met because it's a law of physics that matter and antimatter must never be brought together.
Entertainment news now, and one of the biggest stories during the break was that One Direction are planning on taking a hiatus next year. If you stop... Anyway, at a recent gig, One Direction's Harry Styles took it upon himself to correct the grammar on a fan's sign. And this proofreading pedantry actually ties into Harry's first solo project. Here's the Newsjack exclusive.
Hey, music lovers! You already know One Direction's Harry Styles.
Hello.
In fact, let's be honest, he's the only member of the band you do know. Go on, picture them all right now. You're just thinking of 4 Harrys, aren't you? You know his voice, you know his style, you know his weird old man body. But you probably don't know about his secret passion.
Like all 20-something pop icons, I'm a triple threat. I love correct spelling, punctuation and grammar. And that's why I've taken classic pop songs and fixed their grammatical errors in my new album, Feel the Noise.
Includes songs from the likes of James Brown.
Well, I feel well.
Or this R&B classic.
Me and Mrs. Jones.
Mrs. Jones and I.
Or the Emerald Isle's greatest rock legends.
That That for which I am looking.
Here, all the classics. The Rolling Stones, I Can't Get Any Satisfaction. Lionel Richie's Hello, Is It Me For Whom You Are Looking? And I Hope I Die Before I Get Older. By The Whom. That's Harry Styles with comma, Feel the Noise. Because you really should have learnt this in school.
Should have learnt this in school. It bloody have.
The BBC has been threatened by cuts to its funding. The cuts run deep, which is why this joke has had to borrow its punchline from an episode of topical sketch show Weekending from 1992. Or at least that's what Michael Heseltine wants you to think. Following news of further planned BBC cuts to make way for more original drama like Sherlock, Poldark and Wolf Hall, Newsjack is going to have to rebrand. So, here's the trailer I've prepared for Newsjack Series 14, an original British drama coming soon to a digital radio near you.
In spring 2016, BBC Radio 4 Extra presents News Hall and Poldark of Nishlock Holmes. Nish Kumar is a devilishly handsome, time-travelling topical comedian, detective and early farmer. Each week, his adventures take him to a different historical period where he uses his razor-sharp satirical powers to topple successive monarchies.
Nish, welcome to News Hall, where it's always dark and everybody talks incredibly slowly.
Henry Tudor? More like Henry Loser. Boom!
Use topical zingers to solve grisly murders.
You know who the real murderer was? Society.
And breaks the hearts of thousands of women using adequate satire.
Nish, stop writing so many topical one-liners with your shirt off. You're so sweaty.
Now that's what I call trickle-down economics.
So tune in to BBC Radio 4 Extra this spring for the latest in swashbuckling, nail-biting,
Not so fast, Adolf Hitler.
Nein, das neues Jacken!
heartwarming,
I love you, Nish.
Thanks, Olivia Colman, probably.
drama this spring.
Can I put my shirt back on now? This week saw the announcement that there's going to be another new James Bond novel. Novelist Anthony Horowitz has been hired to write the new book, and he immediately needs Q Branch to invent a gadget to extract his foot from his mouth, after he suggested that actor Idris Elba is too street to play James Bond. I guess that's also the reason I was never offered the part. It seems someone laughed a little too hard at that. It seems the producers went a little too far the other way from me and Idris, however, as this trailer reveals. This December, 007 returns in his greatest incarnation yet.
The name's Holland, Jules Holland. Now I'm down here. What an espionage-based adventure we have for you this evening.
This time, the bad guys have taken something and 007 wants it back.
Oh, God, no. Someone's taken my Best of Pine Top Smith record.
So now he must sneak into their hideout.
Aha! Not so fast, Blofeld.
Where did you come from?
I was hiding in your pocket all along.
To get back what matters most.
Jules, you came to save me.
No, sex punnier. I'm here to look for my record, and I'll look for as long as it takes. Oh, here it is!
We stole your record because we knew it was the perfect way to lure you here.
Then why am I tied to this rocket?
Don't worry, sex punnier. I know what to do. This cufflink Q gave me is also a grand piano. As always, all we need is 4 hours of boogie-woogie.
Oh, God, fire the rocket!
Jules Holland stars in Later with James Bond.
Well, you've been a wonderful audience, but unfortunately that's the end of tonight's film. Thanks to Moneypenny, MI6, Sex Punnier, Blofeld and the Henchman, and Lady Smith Black Mombasa. Good night!
Sports news now, and Serie B, the second division of the Italian Football League, has announced that they'll be trialling a new green card in upcoming matches. The card will be used by referees to reward instances of fair play in a national league who have had to suffer through persistent diving, match fixing, and worst of all, Ashley Cole. So, are you a cool referee, stuck looking for the right card for you? Luckily, there's a new website to help.
Unsure what card to give out in the big derby? Is it a red? Is it a yellow? Or do you just want them to know that you're thinking about them during this difficult time? We know how tricky it is to keep the 22 special somebodies in your life happy, and that's why we've got the card for every occasion at funkyref.com.
FunkyRef.com.
Here at funkyref.com, not only do we have our new green card to say, hey, well done on not being a dirty, dirty cheat, but we also have new personalised cards, including...
Congratulations on saying something racist but keeping your sponsorship deals. That wasn't quite the national anthem, but good try anyway.
Welcome back to News International. Oh, no, wait, that's from our disgraced journalist selection.
And it doesn't stop on the pitch. Be the referee everyone wants to know off the pitch with our selection of cards, including you've just taken out your first super injunction. Congratulations on the affair. And well done for not going to prison for that.
Notice we definitely didn't say not guilty.
And for that really special footballer, say it not just with a card, but a badge, like this one, my first threesome. Aww.
FunkyRef.com.
That's funkyref.com, showing the red card to boring choices, and the only place a middle-aged man can order whistles, silly spray and tight black shorts and not be assumed to be a pervert.
FunkyRef.com.
And now it's time to hear from you, the great British public, in our section, Newsjack.
I'm really looking forward to Top Gear appearing on Amazon Prime, because I don't have Amazon Prime.
The trouble with fish fingers is, I don't know whether they're the fingers of a mutant fish or from an enormous orange man made entirely of fish. Either way, I'm terrified.
I am really worried that Ashley Madison will find out I'm using another infidelity dating service.
The Naked Rambler, Stephen Goff. Yeah, we used to hang out together.
I know it's Fisher's Week, but I do not approve of binge drinking. In fact, I detest the taste of binge.
Apparently they're running out of the antidote for snake bite. A couple of paracetamol and the Resolve always works for me.
I am so pleased that England have won the Ashes. We showed true English spirit with our Kiwi all-rounder, West Indian bowling coach and Australian head coach. Come on, England!
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of Newsjack. Newsjack was hosted by Nish Kumar and starred Lolly Adefope, Jenny Bede and Thomas Nelstrop. The script editors were Gráinne Maguire and Tom Nealon. It was written by John Addy, Chris Barnes, James Budd, Luke Catterson, Josh Clideret, Matt Dyson, Elgin Evan Alderman, Sean Fee, Stephen Goodwin, Mark Gorton, Chris Hallam, Mark Hasty, Joe Hodgson, Ollie Jackson, Jenny Laville, Scott Limbrick, Sean Lindsay, Ben Lund Conlon, Dan McKee, Simon Paul Miller, Emerald Paston, Maria Peters, David Rose, Steve Rose, Owen Seddon and Emmeline Williams, Ahir Shah, Matthew Simpson and Patrick Widdis. The producers were Matt Strong and Suzy Grant.
And Newsjack will be back at the same time next week. And to find out how you can be a contributor yourself, visit the 4Extra website.